Hey historians, this is day 33. We are on to Roman Empire, and this will be our last lecture for today. Again, going to go fairly quickly. So these are things that Caesar did: abolished political parties, revised taxation, and tripled the Senate. Patricians hated him. He was ruining the Roman Republic. He was ending it forever. And he ends up being assassinated, and there are several that contribute to his assassination, kind of this anger over ruining a representative government. And Rome had already been operating like an empire with all of its land grabs. But now it's going to have dictators as well. So a few review questions are on here. What began in 509 BC and ended with the death of Julius Caesar? The answer to that is the Roman Republic. What were a series of wars fought between Rome and Carthage? Answer: Punic Wars. And who was named dictator for life? That is Julius Caesar. So after the first triumvirate, Rome's going to try once again, once Julius Caesar is assassinated, to not have an emperor. So they try a second triumvirate, 3 guys, to divide up this huge empire. Basically, it's really too big for one person unless they're ruling ruthlessly with spies and a secret police and all that kind of stuff. Octavian is Caesar's great nephew. He's considered promising, along with Antony, who has some Egyptian ties, and Lepidus. And after 1 year, Octavian rules alone. You know about Octavian. You may know him by a different name. In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that the entire Roman world should be registered for taxation. All right, we probably won't go to these Google sites actually, but I do want to tell you what the Pax Romana is. So Augustus, first of all, is Caesar Augustus, also known as Octavian. He ends up being Rome's second dictator. And after him, just this whole string of dictators will follow. It's his order that causes Jesus to be born in Bethlehem in a stable instead of Nazareth, his hometown. The Pax Romana is Latin. It means the peace of Rome. And this occurred under all of these awful emperors. But basically, what the Roman Empire did was it led with kind of a brutish military and harsh laws and penalties throughout its empire, but its military was so strong for a while that no one dared take it over. So you basically didn't have war for a while, and because of their soldiers who acted like police, you had safe roads. So you could travel, you could trade all along the Roman roads, and those traders eventually could bring the gospel on these Roman roads. And we'll talk more about Pax Romana in class. Pax Romana, the greatest threat to the empire was not that it would be taken from outside forces, although that's kind of what eventually happens, but the greatest threat to Rome was that it would fall from within. My opinion is that it lost its conscience. The leaders lost their conscience. They were killing people in the Colosseums for other people to watch. This happened to me. A government with that kind of a conscience is not going to stand. They were persecuting Christians for many, many years. Eventually, they stopped persecuting Christians. Number 4 is when Constantine legalized Christianity in 313 AD with the Edict of Milan. The empire is split in 2 a little bit after that, to east and west. Constantinople is the new capital of Rome, and we'll talk about that next unit. It was split for greater organization and to be away from basically the temptations and corruption that were in Rome itself. It moved east and tried to return to the gospel. And also because there were a lot of Germanic tribes that were pushing at the borders in Italy. And if they could get east, it was safer and easier to defend. So you can think of 2 reasons that Rome fell. There are many possibilities for that. Some of the early emperors blamed the Christians because Christians wouldn't worship the Roman gods and they wouldn't swear allegiance to Rome above all.